All right, thank you.
All right, let's get moving on. So, we've broken this webinar up into two parts. In part one of the webinar, we're going to cover what practical qualifications and equipment you will need, and we'll speak to Lauren a bit about her types of classes and what she gets up to in a typical day. And then in part two, we'll talk about how eTEFL Online can help you get started teaching English online. So we'll also stick around until the end because we're going to give you a very special bonus that's only available to attendees of this webinar. And then we'll have a little Q&A at the end as well, where you can ask Lauren or I any questions that you may have. Okay? So, before we begin, everybody, mobile phones off. I prepared as well. I've just taken them out of the room completely. So turn off your phones, log out of Facebook, get rid of all those distractions, because we're going to need your full attention for this presentation, okay? All right. Before we begin, just a little disclaimer that the results may vary on this. I'm going to walk you through every step. I'll get you qualified to teach. We'll get you professional CV, all the resources, support, all of that. But in the end, it's down to you. Like with any profession, you have to work at it, okay? This is not one of those make money online, get rich quick things, all right? It's a job, a profession that you can do online, okay? So some of you will make a great success from this opportunity and others might not, okay? But I'm willing to show all of this to you for free in this webinar, okay? So let's start. My name is Jody van der Westhuizen, and I'm a TEFL teacher in Spain and owner of eTEFL Online. Originally from Jeffreys Bay in South Africa. I studied in Port Elizabeth, so hello all the PE people. All right, I did an online course, TEFL course in 2006, and I've been working as a teacher for 13 years now. I've taught thousands of students and helped hundreds of them gain international qualifications. Speaking of which, we just got our results from the Cambridge exams for my students today, this week actually, and last week for the advanced ones. And I think 89% pass rate in general. So just wanted to give a shout out to those guys. They've worked really well and very hard and they got their results. I'm stoked for them. Okay. So a few years ago, I started working with Cambridge English Assessment. I don't know, I mean, everybody knows the University of Cambridge, but they have a branch which is dedicated to promoting English internationally and helping people get these international qualifications for them to move abroad or to get jobs or for whatever, all right, get into universities, etc. So, and I've since been working with them, with Cambridge University, as an exam center supervisor as well. So 2 years ago, I founded eTEFL Online, and I started creating partnerships with different professionals and course providers, recruiters, and every day I'm at it, still adding more and more. So the reason I started this consultancy was because I saw so many recently qualified teachers with no idea of what to do next in their career. A lot of the TEFL course providers would give you a TEFL course and then send you on your way. Good luck out in the world, all right? But with eTEFL Online, we'll get you qualified and we'll guide you every step of the way until you find employment, all right? So, and introduce my guest speaker today, Lauren. Lauren, would you take over from here?
Hi, everybody. My name is Lauren. And as you know, I'm originally from Port Elizabeth. I moved up to Johannesburg. I studied a BA, also in PE, for media, communications, and culture. It covered a lot of language degrees, English, linguistics. So it was something that I could use as well, along with my TEFL. I completed my TEFL quite a while ago in 2013. As I've said before to Jody, I wish that eTEFL Online was available when I did my course, because my course, you did the work, you got the certificate,
Lauren,
and you were left in the dark after that. Hi, Jody. Can you hear me?
Sorry, you're breaking up a bit.
Oh, no. Right, I'll see if I can perhaps plug myself in and out again.
Yes, so for the rest of you, just so that you understand how this all works here on this webinar, Lauren's sitting in Johannesburg, and I'm sitting in the south of Spain, so we're not actually in the same room yet. You're back?
My apologies for that. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, now we can.
All right. Right, perfect. So I studied my TEFL in 2013. As I've mentioned to Jody before, that I wish I had eTEFL Online when I did my TEFL course, because they basically left you in the dark after you got your certificate. So Jody will explain later how amazing eTEFL Online is, with the support you get afterwards, the helpful work, but we'll discuss a little bit of that later. I've been doing online teaching for 5 years now, So it is something that's very possible. You can do it for a long time, and it only gets better and better. It's not only something for the future, it's something that's happening right now. So that's the best part. You can benefit from this for many years. I originally worked with a Taiwanese company, Dima One on One, who gave me a chance to start my work and my practice with them, and then a Russian company, and now I'm with a Chinese company that goes through ZTE.
All right. Thank you very much. There's some
Thank
people
you.
here in the comment section saying that there's a bit of an echo still and that the volume is kind of low. So I'm going to continue with this
All
presentation.
right.
Yeah. And see if you can just up that volume a bit.
Yes,
Right.
shall do so. Thanks.
Thanks, Lauren. So part one. What is teaching English online and is there a market for it? So in short, teaching English online is teaching English to non-native speakers all over the internet through the use of a computer and a webcam. Nowadays as well, there's lots of other companies that just do audio. Some of them do it through Facebook Messenger that I've just heard about, but I'll investigate those for you as well. So there's a whole bunch of different ways you can do this. Students can learn one-on-one or in a small group, and the cost is usually relatively cheaper when compared to in-person or face-to-face classes. So both the students and the teachers are able to set their own times, their own schedules, and the teacher can teach from whatever location is convenient to them, usually a little home office, or some people just work from their lounge or dining room table even. So over the last year, I've seen massive growth in the online teaching market. Just to give you some statistics, in 2010, e-learning industry was worth $32 billion. That's the entire industry now. I'm not talking just about teaching English online, but all e-learning in general. 2015, it was 107 billion, and in 2025, it's projected to be 325 billion. So the market is growing and growing and growing, and English teaching, especially in Asia now, in China, is a massive, massive market. I know one of the companies, VIP Kid, was just listed on the Chinese Stock Exchange and is now worth 4 billion. That's just one company. That's billion. So you don't have to leave your, if you don't want to, you can, of course, and you can earn US dollars anywhere in the world. So I've recently partnered with another person as well, an online English teacher. She's going to help the courses as well, and all she does is travel the world and teach English online. So you can stay at home and do this if you've got kids or you've got family, if you don't want to travel also. So let's go over some of the qualifications that are needed, okay, to teach English online. Contrary to what many people believe, you don't need a teaching degree. So if you're a TEFL certified and fluent English speaker, then you can teach English online. That's as simple as that. Many companies will also require that you have a bachelor's degree in any field. It doesn't have to be in teaching. It can be in anything you want, art or history or economics, doesn't matter. Although this varies from company to company. Other traits that are often sought after include being personable and having great presentation skills, all right? Because you're going to have to, perform a little bit, especially if you're teaching kids. It's have you use your hands a lot, lots of expressions, and a lot of energy. So some advantages to teaching English online include you can teach English online from anywhere in the world. Like I spoke about earlier, you can travel or you can stay at home, doesn't matter. You can work as few or as many hours as you please. You set your own schedule. I know a lot of companies need a minimum amount of hours from you, 4 hours in some cases, 10 hours in another case. Lauren, could you tell us a bit about your schedule?
Yes, definitely. I work 5 days a week from Monday to Friday. And Monday, you can sometimes work on the weekends as well. The great thing about my company is it is 24/7. So you're always guaranteed to have a time that suits you the best or a day that suits you the best. I usually work from 8 until 5, sometimes on the weekends. But again, you are in control of how much you'd like to work and, of course, creating more income for yourself.
Yeah, that's great. So when you say you work from 8 until 5, you're not in front of the computer teaching for 8 until 5, right?
So I open my slots. You'll get different time slots from 8 until 5, but I give myself 3 breaks during the day or 4 breaks. Again, it's totally up to you. It is important to give yourself breaks with teaching, but you'll figure out the advantage of which time suits you best and your students as well. If you're a mom at home with your children, that's even better. You've got time to spend time with your kids and then slot in some work as well. Or anybody that's just looking for some extra income after work hours.
Yeah, that's another way, another option that we haven't discussed yet, but I think we're going to touch on it later. You can do this full-time or you can do it part-time. You don't have to make a career out of it, but if you want to, Lauren is a perfect example of that. So you could also, some of the advantages, gain experience in the field of online learning. It's one of the fastest growing areas in education. I know that since I've started teaching, a lot of other doors have opened up and you go into different areas. Things you didn't expect were going to happen. And with your online, I mean, people always say that the future is online, but it's not the future. It's now. It's the present, all right? So if you're online and you've got these skills already, it can open up a whole bunch of other doors for you. So you can also gain the ability, or you have the ability to gain teaching experience for your resume before or after you teach English abroad. So some of you might be considering doing this to gain some experience before you go over to Thailand or Costa Rica or wherever you want to go work. Whether you're teaching English abroad or working in an entirely different industry, you can teach online part-time to supplement your income. A lot of companies are looking for part-timers who work in specific industries to help their students who can't speak English in their similar industries or the same industry as you. So there's a lot of jargon, there's a lot of stuff that you can help people with. You can use your TEFL certification to make a positive impact on people's lives and to make some money at the same time. So this is what I said earlier. This is a profession, it's a bit more than a job, really. You're helping people, you're changing lives, you're getting them qualifications, helping them get qualifications at least, so that they can get visas, so that they can get jobs. I mean, it's life-changing stuff. So how do I teach English to a non-native speaker if I don't speak another language? A lot of the times people ask this question, like, oh, how can I teach Spanish people or Chinese people if I can't speak that language? It doesn't matter. Your language classes are taught entirely in English. So even if you were completely fluent in whatever language, the student's language, you'd still be teaching the class 100% in English. So the class is run by a fluent English speaker, 100% in English the entire time. And so that's why you're in such high demand as well. Teaching students from all over the world. The students want to learn from you. They want to hear your accent. They want to hear your dialect. They want to mimic you. All right. They want to pick up on exactly how you speak. So even if you can speak the language, it's best actually not to. Lauren, some of your students, are they all Chinese or are they from some other parts of the world?
All of my students are Chinese. I've chosen to teach children. Most companies, you can choose either to teach adults or children. It's great for the adults if you are in a specific field, for example, business or law or something that they can learn from. But yes, all my students are Chinese. Once or twice I have to revert back to Google Translate to help me with one or two words, but that's mainly because I work with very young students. So as long as they maybe pop up one or two words for them to see it, it's fine. But definitely no speaking is needed.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
Another language. Right?
So countries where online English teaching is in high demand. Number one on that list, as you can see, China. Yes, China is a massive market at the moment. It's spreading throughout the world. It's becoming more and more popular. But at the moment, China, Korea, Japan, Hong Kong, as you can see from that list, a lot in the Far East, and then Russia, UAE, Middle East, Spain as well, and then Colombia, Brazil, Chile, Argentina, South America as well. They're also becoming, it's becoming quite a big industry in South America, Central America as well. So that's another option for you to look at. So let's talk about your students, online class sizes, session types. What are you getting yourself into? So there are typically two different session types when teaching English online. We've got the one-on-one or private sessions or small groups. The one-on-one sessions involve you, the teacher, and only one student, and in small groups, anywhere from 2 to 6 students at a single time. Lauren, I wanted to ask you about this. Do you do one-on-one and groups, or do you focus on just one or the other?
I'm lucky my company offers both of them. I prefer one-on-one with my students because they are younger. It's lovely to give them individual attention, to be totally focused on what they need you to help them with. But small groups as well are also wonderful. They might have a friend, a brother or sister, someone that they feel comfortable with as well. So especially with the younger children, they might be a little bit shy at the beginning. It's their first time learning. So yeah, small groups are manageable. And again, these children want to learn. They love learning. They're interested in what you have to do and teach them. So it's no worry like the traditional classroom where you might be thinking you need to have crowd control with noise and that. Everyone is very dedicated to learning. So don't be scared or shied away from teaching big groups as well as one-on-one.
Yeah. Yeah, as a teacher who's taught big groups in class, I can tell you crowd control is one of your major concerns. All right, so some other fields that you could be teaching, general or conversational English. This is a lot when you work online with apps. A lot of companies now have you work from your mobile phone. We're going to go over a few of them in a few moments, but yeah, a lot of that's conversational English, where you just help people with their pronunciation and just talking in general terms. Then there's business English. You can focus on topics pertaining to email writing, presentations, proposals. If you're in business yourself, then this is something you can look into. Examination preparation, something like I was doing, tuition for students, preparing them for their Cambridge or their ELTS or whatever. All different. These are all just different types of qualifications, internationally recognized ones that students can get to prove their level of English. All right, another one, job interview coaching. You focus on common interview questions so you can help people prepare for their job interviews, or then trial English lessons. A lot of these are demo lessons or trial English lessons, and you have to do a couple of I know most of the companies I know of, you have to teach at least one demo class just to show exactly what you're capable of, all right? I know, Lauren, I think you've mentioned before as well that you had to do trial lessons as well, or demos or something.
That's correct. Yes, my previous company, I did that. The one that I'm with now, luckily, I didn't have to do that, but almost see it as part of your interview as well. If you had to do any normal job interview, they'd ask you extra questions to see you can do the work. So yes, it's only fair for them to allow you to do a trial for them to see how your teaching methods are.
Yeah, so to get talking about these trial lessons and the interview and whatnot, we'll help you through that as well here with eTEFL Online, all right? Once you're done and we've got your TEFL course done, we'll prepare you a CV, depending on which package you choose, of course, and then we'll walk you through every step. And normally you do an interview, and then, a written interview through email, and then you will do a Skype interview. Then they'll ask you to prepare a 1-minute introductory video of yourself. And if you make it past that, then you get hired, you get a demo, and then you get fully hired, and then you can start opening up your slots. So there is a process, and it's basically the same for every single company. And we will help you with that. That's not something you need to concern yourself with right now. All right, so how many hours do I commit? So if you're like Lauren, you can commit 8 to 5 every single day, or maybe you don't want to. You want to do fewer. So the beauty of teaching English online is that the hours you work and the schedule you set is completely up to you, barring the minimum hours that some companies prefer you have, okay? While some online teaching companies may require a specific number of hours, 4, 6, 7, 10, something like that, you can usually choose from teaching only a few hours to 20 hours, or even turn this into a full-time career with 40 plus hours, all right? So can you imagine waking up when you decide, working from your lounge? I love this photo. All right. I know some English teachers as well that don't even get out of their pajamas. They put on a nice shirt and that's it. Walking in slippers all day long. All right. So, or being at home with your kids when they get back from school. I know that's why I work online. I stay at home. I've got 3 boys, so staying at home with them and helping out is one of my main motivations. And being able to go to their school plays, rugby matches. So it opens up a whole new realm of freedom for you. Okay, or traveling the world while working online. So if you want to read, at the end of this, I can put a link to another blog that's this friend of mine who's traveling the world teaching that she wrote for us, and you can have a look at that too. So there's options for you. So where can I work? We're talking about this working and how many hours, but who can you work for? So there are many online teaching companies. I mean, this page that you're looking at right now is maybe 1% of companies that exist. And some that come highly recommended are VIP Kid, Lingoda, 51 Talk. You can look at that list. Talk 915, as I have over here. That's the company that, Lauren, you work for, right? But you call them something else.
That's right. Yeah, they're part of the ZTE group, but yes, it's Talk 915.
Oh, right. So it's all about, there's a parent group with a bunch of different sub-companies, you know? So Dada used to be called Dada ABC. You might remember them. Anyway, have a look through those. These are all the major companies that hire the most people, all right? These 3 over here, Pellfish, Cambly, and Boxfish, they are the online companies that work with mobile phones and tablets that I was talking about. So you don't need a computer even to work for these companies. You have your hands-free set that you plug into your mobile phone, and you can literally be anywhere. You can be sitting on the beach or at the bus stop, it doesn't matter. And you can be teaching your classes. They focus mainly on conversational English. So, how much can I earn? That's a great question. For example, if you work 3 hours a day, I'm just going to do a little simulation here. 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, and you start at the minimum that I've ever seen anybody get paid, which is $10 an hour, you can earn $100 per month. All right, so if you look at that calculation as 3 hours times 5 days, 15 hours at 10 is 150 a week, which is roughly 600 a month. I know there's most people are from South Africa here. So what's the current exchange rate? Does anybody know? I'll Google it for you quickly. Let's say 600 Rand in US. Oh, sorry, other way around. $600 in South African rands is just a little bit under 8,000. Yeah, so 8,000 Rand. That's not too bad for part-time, I would say. And if you work 3 hours a day, 5 days a week at $20 an hour, so I would suggest that if you're going to make your own calculation, start with 10, maybe 15 if you have a degree or if you have some sort of experience. But you're going to be starting at the bottom if you're starting from scratch, okay? And then once you've got some experience, you can command $20 an hour, and then you double that income to 1,200 per month, which would be around about 16,000 Rand per month, working just 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. All right, so the earning potential is quite good, quite good. For example, this guy, Dan Didio, an American guy, he works for VIP Kid, and he makes $75,000 a year. I'm not saying that you are going to make $75,000 a year, just saying, showing you what is possible and that this guy is doing it. He obviously works his butt off every day, all day, but 75,000 is about $1 million Rand a year teaching English online. And I just read, I think I posted on the Facebook page, the article as well, of another woman that works in South Korea. I think South Korea, yes, she earns 500,000 a year, but she has her own company and teaches in universities and all kinds of things. So you can check that out as well on our Facebook page. So paying taxes, you're earning all this lovely money, you have to pay taxes. Well, that's up to you, I suppose. Many online English teaching jobs categorize you either as an independent contractor or as self-employed. So this means it's your responsibility to report your earnings as a self-employed income. The benefit of that is, if you pay your taxes, is that the tax office will allow you to write off a proportion of your home or apartment as a home office. I do it. I know Lauren does it as well. You can also write off expenses like your computer, laptop, internet, webcam, everything that you need for your business. You can write it off. Lauren, have you got some input there for the people regarding this?
I do. As I've spoken to you once before, rather lead us to the professionals. Get someone who can do your taxes for you. There are people at the different companies. I have a lady at EY who does mine. She specializes on income from other countries and online work and that. So there are people out there to help you. And as Jody said as well, you can write off so many things, your rent or anything, especially if you are working from home, you can write off those expenses, rent, water, electricity, laptop, appliances needed for the teaching. So it's really a great thing.
Yeah, I do that as well since I work from home a lot. And yeah, internet as well is something, because I know internet is expensive and you're going to need a good connection.
Right.
And you can write it off against your tax at the end of the year as well. Okay. So, what do you need to get started? What are the most important things? Well, one, you'll need a TEFL certificate. All right, this is something we can offer you. We have 3 options that you're going to have a look at, and we will go over them a bit later. But yeah, number 1, a TEFL certificate. Just to go over, perhaps people here in this group, on this webinar don't really know exactly what we're talking about. TEFL is Teaching English as a Foreign Language. So it's a 4-week, 120-hour certification course, and you can do it 100% online, and you work at your own pace. So if you want to log in today and not tomorrow, that's fine. So you work at your own speed, and after around about 120 hours, which takes about 4 weeks, you'll be done. All right, you can take longer, you can take shorter, whatever you decide. All right. So second thing you'll need, a computer or a smartphone with an internet connection. All right. So an advantage of teaching English online is the fact that getting started is relatively easy. Startup costs are also generally low, given that you have access to all this stuff. 99% of people have a computer or a smartphone. So you've already got the equipment. You don't need a massive investment to begin doing this. So the main essentials, you will need to teach English online, hardware. So a laptop or desktop computer or even your smartphone, webcam, reliable high-speed internet connection. Usually 3 to 10 megabytes is the minimum. I know some companies that ask up to 20 megabytes download speed. Lauren, can you give us some insight into that? What does your company require?
I think my company only requires 2 megabytes, but most companies ask for about 10. But again, there are thousands of companies out there, each with their own requirements. So don't be afraid if you don't have maybe the 10 or the 20 that they've requested. There are many that are accepting 2 and 3 as well.
Yeah. All right. But of course, the higher your speed is, the higher speed you have, the better. That's going to open up more, right? So if you can afford, you can start small. You can start with a lower package and pay less, get 3 to 10 megabytes roundabout, and then start working. And as you start earning, you can upgrade your internet, because at some point you're going to have to. So microphone and headset. I assume, Lauren, that's what you're using right now to talk to us?
Yes, I am. I don't know why it's playing up today, Murphy's Law, but it's
Lauren?
been working perfectly today.
Of course.
Murphy's Law, it's doing it now, but it's been perfect.
Yeah. It seems to be. All right, some software. Skype or similar, although some companies now have their own software. Most companies, as the industry grows, a lot of companies now have their own software for teaching. It's similar to Skype, all right? And when you join the company, they will provide you with the training to use it. There's also, every single company has their own online groups, like on Facebook mostly, where you can join once you start working for them, and any questions you may have, and you ask in they have great community. That's what I like about this, is about the communities that you have after you join. You've got any problems, you go into the group and you ask a question or ask for advice, and there's 100 people jumping onto the post to help you. It's great. So a PayPal account is another thing you'll need, or a bank account. You'll need some sort of account, and a quiet, well-lit home office or workspace. I wanted to ask you about that, Lauren. Does your company pay you to your bank account, or do they pay PayPal, or how does that work?
You can choose either one, either PayPal or bank account. I personally like sending it to my own bank account, but it's lovely that there's an option for you there. So you don't have to worry about money only coming through 2 or 3 months later. Some companies pay twice a week even, or some pay, sorry, every 2 weeks, or at the end of every month.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that, because I'm in a lot of these groups. I was talking about these community groups for these companies, and some of them have changed recently as well to paying every 15 days. So twice a month you get paid. Right. And then, Lauren, your quote.
Yes. All right. So as mentioned here, I can honestly say that this is one of the most rewarding jobs in terms of seeing progress and how you help people and children. Yes, you are doing a job, you're earning money from a service, but it is so much more than that. To see your students progress and receive written compliments and feedback from them shows what a difference you have made in their lives. Remember, with your help and dedication, many students are able to advance in their school, work environment, and ultimately some big life-changing decisions, such as university admittance, immigration, or a new job for them. And very importantly, your job is valued and you are valued. I can't stress that enough, how valued a person feels for helping people. It's not just something that a person is doing for fun. People really need this help. The students need you and they appreciate it, what you are offering them.
Yes, and I can second that. I love that those last two sentences. Your work is valued and you are valued. I'm in the WhatsApp group now with my students that just did the exam, and everybody's just thanking and talking, and you feel like you've made a difference. All right, so best part of all of this is you don't have to set up a business. You don't have to find students. You don't have to worry about payrolls and bookkeeping and all of that. You don't even have to apply for jobs. At TEFL Online, we will help you with all of that, all right? So all you have to do is show up on time, chat to interesting people from all over the world, all right? So, part 2. Now, this is where we talk exactly about what eTEFL Online can do for you, all right? So eTEFL Online can help you get started teaching English online fast, okay? With more than a decade of experience in the TEFL industry, network of trusted, we can help both TEFL qualified, experienced teachers, and also complete newbies. So if that's you, don't worry, we've got your back. We can prepare and secure that first with no hassle. We have several custom packages designed to meet everyone's needs. So whether you need TEFL training, job guidance, professional CV services, or advice, we can help you. All right? So let's just have a line. So if you've already got a degree, you've got some experience, maybe you've already got a job offer. A lot of people have applied already, but the company says, no, you've got to have a TEFL, then this is the choice for you, okay? So this will be the internationally recognized online TEFL course, 120-hour certificate. You'll also get a teaching young learners module, because a lot of the companies work with kids, so it's great to have this extra module. How to engage children, how to keep their attention, things like that. Then also comes with a TKT course from Cambridge, which is a separate accreditation to help you with your CV. Now, TKT stands for Teacher Knowledge Test. So after you've completed your online test, your online TEFL course, you can do this optional course as well. and it's something just to add. All right. Online tutor support and advice, job club membership, and it's accepted by SL employers around the world. And we'll always have a buy one, get one free on this. So if you want to do it with a friend or a family member, or you're just feeling generous and want to give one of them away, it's up to you. And also the thing about eTEFL Online now is we're offering a referral program membership with all of our courses. So if you refer somebody to us and you've bought this course, we will give you 10% commissions on the sale of that course, okay, to whoever comes along. You don't have to do any selling or anything. You just refer them. We'll give you a link. You send that person the link. They click on it. We'll take over from there. And if they sign up, we'll give you 10%. So the second option you can choose, now this is for people who need a bit more help, all right? Professional online. Everything in the standard online package, so the TEFL course, plus a CV resume, depending on which country you're in, revision service, job application service, free coaching from one of our partners. When I say coaching, I mean coaching to prepare for your interview. Okay, there's a couple of teachers there that do some coaching, and they work for different companies, so it depends on who you apply for a job with. You can go to a specific teacher who will help you get set up for that. Links to useful websites and recruiters, done for you lesson plans to help get you started, and of course the free online course that you get with it. With every package, the free online one is always just the standard course, okay? And in this one, we'll give you referral program membership with 20% commissions. So refer a friend and get 20%. So this is a bit more. This is the one I would recommend the most because we'll help you prepare that CV and help you get into the job world faster. All right, and then complete online. So this is everything in the professional online package, but in this case, the CV is now written from scratch with one of our partners, and we'll do a CV and a cover letter service with that as well. So we'll send it off to our partners who will write a professional CV that is targeted at the TEFL industry, specifically using keywords and designs that they know that I don't know, that they do, and yeah, specifically designed for Dada or for italki or whatever company you're going to work for. Personalized one-on-one job support and guidance, so we'll give you someone that will help you through the process step by step. So anytime you've got any problems, just send an email, no problem, we'll get you sorted. And then also the one standard online course for free. And in this package, your referral program membership is 30% commissions. All right, and that's something that I wanted to do with eTEFL as well, is make it more of a community. Once you start working online, you'll see a lot of the times that you work for big companies, they give you a referral link as well to share with people. All right, so you're working with a company, you say, I'm working for these people, check it out, and you get a link and you can earn commission. So it's very, very typical, these kind of deals within the industry. So it's good for you to get used to it. So this is what sets us apart. I wanted eTEFL Online to be a community of educators, entrepreneurs, all right? So to work online is to be free, all right? Free to choose your own hours, free to travel, spend more time with your loved ones, your family, whatever you want, all right? Freedom to decide your own future. So this is why I wanted to show you everything that's encompassed in being online while you're there. So what's included? Working online allows you to have multiple streams of income, and with eTEFL Online referral program, we'll provide you with the means to earn commissions promoting our courses. You won't have to do any selling of any kind, no phone calls, and at no extra cost to you, okay? So all you have to do is share that link to our sign-up page, like the one you clicked on, to be on the list of eTEFL Online emails, and the person who signed up through that link buys a course, you get a commission simply for referring that friend. That's all. Okay, so let's just do a recap quickly before we move on to the Q&A session. So what is included? One, we got the fully accredited 120-hour online TEFL course that's valued at $297. That's what's included, if you can remember. I'll just go show it to you quickly. And the next one, and of course you get two free course, well, one free course, so you get two in total, so that value is doubled. The third one, if you've gone for the complete online course, is the CV and the cover letter service. Now on the website, for the people that I use, you get $150 if you had to pay for it yourself, but I've negotiated a better deal, of course. So all of those, these are the people that will be doing your CV for you, just SL Jobs. Rachel will be doing it for you, probably, from the company. She's great. All right. And then fourth one that will be included is the resource center. So we have a page on our website. If you go there, it's password protected. It's only for people that have signed up with us and are doing that. So in there, you'll find done for you lesson plans, useful links. There's some training videos, a whole bunch of stuff. All right. These resource center memberships for other websites usually run about $10 a month. You pay per month. So I think a value of about $200 for a lifetime access is pretty spot on. So we're talking about everything included in this package has a value of around $944. Now, everything on the website as well, I wanted to mention this. The payment that we talk about and the prices, everything is in US dollars because this is the entire industry. It works on US dollars, so it's good for you to get into this mindset of thinking in US dollars all the time. So, just to recap everything that we have there, but of course, we're not going to charge you $944. All right, so if you go and look at the website, you can check our complete online course is listed at $497, professional at $397, and the standard online at $297. But because I asked you to stay, I'm going to give you a special discount, a special price. We'll take $297 for the professional, and for the standard, we'll only charge you $197 if you use the coupon code webinar100. And I just wanted to make sure as well that you understand that I'm not going to keep this around forever. Webinar 100 code will only be available for the next 48 hours. All right, so keep that in mind. I see we already have some questions there in the box. People have been asking. Sorry if I haven't got around to you. But we'll open up the Q&A session now. If you've got any other questions, let's start with the people that have already, who doesn't have a BA degree. Johan asked, yes. Does anybody else have or anybody else who hasn't got a BA degree? Because it's not an issue. A lot of companies, look, if you wanted to go start out teaching for Dada or for VIP Kid or something right from the beginning, they're going to ask you for a degree. But every day I see more and more companies that are not asking for degrees. It's not a 100% prerequisite. Talitha, you've already started your course with the TEFL Academy. I can send you some links. Yeah, no worries. How could you assist me with getting to teach online? Yeah, I've got some stuff that I send you. Thank you for joining the webinar. And as a reward, I will definitely help you for free. No worries. So Amanda, can you choose the age group you wish to teach? I think, Lauren, you mentioned that you did, or you can, at least with your company?
Yes, you can. I think you can choose more for the juniors, which will be the kindergarten age. You can have more for teenagers as well. So it all depends on your company too. You can choose your age group. That's fine.
Yeah, and I can tell you this is very similar to teaching in class as well. I mean, I had 5 classes. I'm on summer holidays here now in Spain, but the last classes I had were all 5 hours a day, and the first 4 were all kids, up to teenagers. And it's only 1 out of the 5 classes that's adults. So it's typical that most of your students are going to be kids or teenagers. Nicola, I have a master's in business leadership. Do I need a TEFL? You can try without a TEFL. You can definitely go ahead and try. But a lot of companies ask you to have a TEFL degree as well, a TEFL course as well. And what you learn in the TEFL is really, really going to help you. It's not everything you're ever going to need to know, but it is definitely a great foundation to build upon. Yes, someone there has done their TEFL course in Thailand. Really? I don't recall seeing an email. Look, I'll check my emails. Lorian, I think it's pronounced, and I'll have a look at that. Holly. Yes, for all those people that are already qualified, before we get on to Holly, yeah, just send me an email after this. Look, I'll type my email address in here now. There you go. So yeah, you can send me an email to that email address, and then I'll do that from there, okay? So Holly, yes, coming from business manufacturing industry, is it difficult to do the TEFL course? Difficult? No. Challenging? Yes. I mean, you have to put effort into it, of course. But you get your own personal tutor with it who can help you whenever you want. Whenever you've got any doubts or questions, you'll have your own teacher basically online to help you. As a complete support staff as well, so you've got more than enough support. Nicola, you guys have a website to see mock classes. Yeah, I can send you to some of the groups on Facebook that I was talking about. At the end of this, I can type that in for you, and you can go to those groups and ask around there, and people definitely have videos for you. You can also look on YouTube. They put them up on YouTube as well. Let me get a couple of those courses or those groups for your Facebook.
Jody, do you mind if I touch on some of the people noting that they don't have a degree?
Yes, please, go ahead. You can do that while I'll get all these groups together.
Oh, perfect. I just wanted to speak to everyone that's mentioned that they perhaps don't have a degree. I don't want you to be deterred by that. A lot of companies will still allow you to work for them as long as you've got your TEFL. If you've got experience in other areas, try and include that, make that shine. Perhaps you have helped colleagues that use English as a second language in the workplace. Maybe you've done training before. You've got some teaching experience. So allow your other experience to help you as well with that. But importantly, a TEFL is usually the number one priority that is asked. There are lots of Facebook groups and that you can join as well. Groups for SL teachers that are non-native speakers, ones that are native speakers, teachers that perhaps don't have a degree but have their TEFL. So there are companies that do still hire people, even if you don't have your degree, but your TEFL is very important to have.
Thank you, Lauren. Yeah, I sent the same link twice. Sorry about that. There's two of the biggest groups that I know of. One of them has 20-something thousand people, and the other one has 30,000 people. Somebody's going to have an answer for you there about mock lessons. So
That's right.
Amanda asks, how long is one lesson? Lauren?
Again,
how
that's
long are your
also
lessons?
with the company as well. My lessons are only 25 minutes each, so you can book if you want 3 or 4 in a row. You've got a little 5-minute break. Other companies, they are 40 minutes long if you've perhaps got groups, and then you'll have a little 10-minute break, and then you move on to the next one. For the children, it's mostly shorter because their attention span is shorter. It's too long, 40 minutes for them. Business ones, you can happily do a 40-minute class.
All right, and Amanda has another question there. What is the greatest challenge? That's a good question.
Regarding the teaching or perhaps setup or your day, do you mind if you could elaborate a little bit more, please? I'm happy to answer that. You can just specify, please.
All right, so we'll carry on with Lynette then. Most companies require TEFL teachers with teaching experience. I wouldn't say most companies. Even if it does say that you need experience, in my experience, my first job, TEFL job I ever got, the first one I applied for said, only apply if you have experience. And I did it, I applied a week after I got my TEFL and I got the job. So they put that up there. I mean, ideally, I assume that they would want the most qualified and experienced candidates possible. Once those people run out, then they will have to go to people with less experience or none.
That's right. I also think people mustn't be deterred by that either. Lots of people are starting out for the first time. I actually came across another South African group that is allowing teachers that haven't had experience in online to join them. The pay is a little bit less than the bigger companies, but it's a great starting point if you don't have experience but want to go straight into online once you've got your TEFL.
Right. So there's options. Like we were saying earlier, there's thousands of companies. It's impossible, literally impossible that you won't find a job. Especially, I mean, even if you have no experience, it's not an issue. All right. So when do you guys get time to prepare your lessons? Oh, Lauren, these are all for you.
Oh, perfect. All right. So a lot of companies, your lessons are already given to you. You don't have to prepare or plan anything. Yes, it's good to open it a few minutes beforehand to read what's going on. Or if you like to get up a little bit early like I do, read through the lessons I have for today. So you've got already a mental mindset of what you can talk about, what extra questions you can have if you've got time with your students, but you don't have to worry about spending hours with that. These companies have everything available for you. The children or the moms choose their lesson for them, and the story or the topic is all there for you on the platform or as a book for you to open in PDF before the lesson.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not tons and tons and tons of hours and hours of preparation for the online courses. Everything is prepared for you.
Very good.
Let's see. Nationality. Zimbabwean, and you've noticed most companies prefer native speakers. Most companies do prefer native speakers. That's true. But if you have a neutral accent, then it's not an issue. I've seen people as well that accept that in their job posts. I've read their comments underneath, and people saying, "I'm not native speaker." And they say that's fine as long as you have a neutral accent. So you have to go through the process as well, the introduction process, and do that video and everything. And then once they see that you don't have a heavy accent, then you'll be fine.
Perfect. And again, there's many groups on Facebook to join as well. Some there are groups for non-native speakers. If English isn't your first
websites,
language,
how do they differ from this? Sorry, both talking at the same time now. I just want to answer this one question here. From Marley, offer the course at discounted prices. Well, that depends on which company, which website, and how discounted. Most of the places that you're going to find TEFL courses, so you'll do your course with them, and they'll provide you with tons of support while you're doing it. But once you've got it, that's it. You're on your own. The difference with us is that when you're done, we will help you again. We will continue to help you until you have a job. We'll help you prepare your CV. We'll help you find the links. I mean, once you got your TEFL course, what do you do then? Where do you go? That's the stuff we help you with. And that's what makes us different. Amanda, any challenges one may experience in the beginning, or perhaps a language barrier with the students? Yeah, like we covered with the language barrier, there is none to a degree. I mean, every now and then, like Lauren said, she has to Google a word to help them out. But the rest of the time, I mean, they are paying you to speak English. Bruce has a good question. A lot of sharks out there, no doubt. How does one verify the potential employer is legitimate? Well, if you go through us, we only work with legitimate employers. And a lot of the time, the sharks are not the employers themselves, but the recruiters. So you've got to be very careful. I mean, if you go on to look out in these groups that I've sent you as well, for the Facebook groups, there's so many people on there posting jobs. Be wary of them. I mean, obviously some of them are legitimate recruiters, but others are not. So if it looks too good to be true, then yeah, they'll pay for everything and set you up, and then all that kind of stuff, and you just give them 500. Don't. If they ask you for money, don't ever go with them. Amanda has a question. Would you be marking assessments in some way? Lauren, do you have to do assessments or reports on your students? Things like that?
I've got a short report that you can complete either at the end of the day. I think as long as it's done within 6 hours before the next day happens, but it really takes a very short time. It'll take a minute or two. Other companies don't have that. My company's got tabs that you can click on as well, and then just write a general thing about how the pronunciation was, any errors, something to focus on, but no lengthy marking or anything like that. Just a quick report.
Right. That's good to know, because I've done some marking in my time, I can tell you. All right. Yeah. You're welcome, Nicola. Johan, I'm not. Look, Lauren, you said you were going to set up an email address for these kind of things. I don't know if you have yet. In the meantime, if you haven't, you can just send me the email, Johan, and I'll pass it on to her. You're all very welcome.
Yeah, I'm excited that everyone's excited about this.
It's exciting stuff.
It is. Any other questions, anybody, or anything else you would like to know or you're curious about with the online world?
So you don't have to scroll up again. I know scrolling is so labor intensive. Let me put my email again here. So if you've got any other questions and you've forgotten about now and whatnot, just send me an email. Yeah, Lauren, marking midterms. Yeah, I take a photo every time I have to do all those exams. My dining room table is just like an inch thick full of papers. Not my favorite part of the job. There's a question for you, Lauren, from Janet.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for first timers? I think you need to just have fun with it. Don't take yourself too seriously, especially if you're working with children. And remember that, as I said to you, the students here want to learn from you. You don't have to worry about being scrutinized, or people are watching carefully what you're doing, if they're waiting for you to make a mistake. You are the teacher here. The students are with you. They respect you as the teacher. They have full attention. They want to learn from you. So I think just take it as it comes. Yes, as we know with teaching, things come up or questions come up, but then you just take it in your stride as well. A lot of it is conversational. You have fun with it. You've got your documents with you. You've got the lesson plans from the company. So you never have to feel that you are completely in the dark. Customer service is there to help you. They're also on your Skype platform or whatever you are using with your students. So you never have to feel as if um, you're on your own or left alone with this. I think truly have fun with it. Again, be professional because, yes, you are the teacher, you've got your students. But again, it's just something that's enriching and rewarding, and your students want to learn.
Great. Something I'd like to add to that is don't be afraid to make mistakes. You are going to make
Yes,
mistakes, and everybody makes mistakes. And I've been doing this for 13 years, and I'm still making mistakes. So don't worry about it. You're not the only one. And like I said, join the groups. Like for example, if you end up working for Dada or for a CADSOC or for whatever company you work for, I can promise you they all have support groups, those communities on Facebook. Join them, and you will have people that can help you. And somebody asked a question, Kim, when can I start? Well, Kim, whenever you want to start, just shoot us an email and we'll get you started. Do you have a recording of the webinar? Yes, this time I do.
yay.
This time I remembered to record it. So yeah, when this is recorded, well, when we finish this, I will edit it a bit and I'll put it up on YouTube and I'll send you guys the link so you can watch it again. And yeah. There you go, Lauren. Another question for you from Nicola.
Good question, Nicola. All right, again, as I've mentioned, every company is different with different benefits. I personally like my company because I've been with them for a long time. We've established a good relationship between the other employees there with my students. And I like the fact that they are 24/7. So that's great for South Africans, especially for our time zone as well. So that's a number one thing for me.
Okay, a whole bunch of people there typing again. Maybe we've got a few more questions coming. Lynette has a question there. Is the age of the teacher important? No, no, it isn't.
Definitely not. They don't even ask age requirements, so that's definitely not something to be worried about. If I could add to that as well, Lynette, a lot of the students, you build a great relationship with them. So you'll get to have some of them maybe for 2 years, 3 years, and the students, they really generally, they love everybody that teaches them. So definitely age is not a concern.
Yeah. Are we back now? Sorry.
There we go.
This webinar platform just be out. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that, people. Technical issues. These things will also occur while you're teaching.
That's
Just
right.
roll with it. Of course, how long does it take to receive your certificate? A week, even less. All right, and Ingrid, I will find the slide for you now. So you can have a better look at it. There we go. You look on the screen now. We've got the standard online, the professional online, and the complete online. And if you just go to our website, eteflonline.com, you can have a look at them as well.
Hi, Marley. Just to answer your question, I work for the ZTE group, so they are my employers, but a lot of online teachers are almost freelancers in a way, so they work for themselves too. Some people work for different companies, even 2 or 3 different companies regarding the hours. As some companies only offer evening hours, some offer 24/7, like my own. So yeah, people move around with companies or choose what's best for them and their lifestyle as well.
Yeah, I speak with a lot of online teachers all the time, and the majority of them work for more than one company.
That's right.
So they can get that combination of hours that suits their lifestyle the best. You don't need to work just one. Somebody, yeah, Marley, do you work for an employer? Yeah, well, are you interested in working for yourself? We promote working for employers because the setup is just so incredibly easy. Whereas if you had worked for yourself from home, you would need to have to set up some sort of platform, some sort of advertising, a website, a way of recruiting the people, the students. It's possible. And I work with another person as well who has a course, a great course to help you get set up like that if you're interested in doing it yourself. Johan, more than sufficient. That's fine. And Marley, am I correct in stating that your employer outsources your services? To a degree, yes. You work for the company, and the student applies to the company, and they just assign a teacher to that person. And the better you are, and the more you work there, then you start getting your own. You get repeat students. The best company to work for? Well, that depends on people's experience. I'm sure, Lauren, you would say your company is the best company to work for.
That's right, and someone else will say it's their company. So again, it's good to have a look on the groups as well, Facebook groups.
Yeah.
And again, you can even give a Google research as well. For example, if you're looking at data, you can say data review, and you can see what different people say about it as well.
And some of the best ones I've seen, a lot of people nowadays are talking about iTutor
Yes,
and
that's true.
Orange Talk. Another one was GoGo Kid, I want to say. They have
Yes,
such weird names.
that's right.
But yeah, GoGo Kid, Orange Talk, and iTutor.
You literally have to Google it. There are thousands of companies out there, each one suiting your lifestyle, the hours you need, whether they take the different accents or people from different countries. There really are hundreds to choose from.
Oh, there's a question from Nicola. Lauren, where'd you buy your headset?
My headset, I promise you my headset is very good. I don't know why today it's playing up. It's been great. It hasn't had a problem. I've got a Plantronics one. I really like Plantronics, and I think Logitech has got a great one. The best thing about your headset is try to get one that's got noise cancelling function as well. Just so it blocks out a bit of any um, extra noise in the place that you're working, just to make it better for your student. And if you've got any mute buttons, you can add that. But Headsets can really start anything from 50 Rand to 500 Rand, depending on what you want. But I promise you, the ones that are cheaper work brilliantly. As I said, just get something with the noise cancelling function as well. But Takealot's got so many. You can probably look at Dion Wired. You can get it at your normal electronics store. You're welcome.
Now, these questions are good. Thank you for asking them. This is something that we
Yeah.
can include in the next webinar as well. Maybe speak a bit more about the hardware, go a bit more in depth into it. There's a lot of questions about that. All right, it looks like the questions have stopped, and we've been
Any
going
last
for a good
questions?
hour now. Ooh, time got over.
That's right.
Do you guys sit when you teach? Do you sit when you teach?
I do sit when I teach. I have to have my camera on because I work with children, but I've got friends that work with the adults, and you don't need your audio. So some people might walk around a little bit in their office. You get those really great stands for your computer, so you can stand and have like a working stand space. So yeah, and it's definitely not a random question at all. You need to be comfortable as well. So if you can sit or stand, or if you want to walk around, if your camera's not on,
Yeah, well,
that's okay.
sitting while you teach. Oh,
Oh, sorry, can you hear me?
yes. So sit. Yeah, you're back now. Yes, sitting while you teach online. Yes, obviously, that's the default position. Class, I've discovered that children see it as a sign of weakness and they attack. So I'd rather just stand up so that I can be everywhere at once. All right, folks, thank you for your time. I think we're going to call it a day now. If you have any other questions, you have my email there, jody@etfononline.com or support@etfononline.com. Both of them work. And Lauren, thank you very much. Thank you once again for helping us out here today.
And thank you to everybody. I've really appreciated this and loved all the questions. And I hope we put your mind at ease. This is something exciting for everyone to get involved in. Remember, it's happening now. It's not the future, it's happening now. So very exciting stuff.
Great. You're all welcome. Lynette, Nicola, Megan,
Thanks,
Connie,
everyone.
Bruce. Thank you, everybody. And like I said, I've recorded this webinar. Once I've chopped it up a bit and put it up on YouTube, I'll send you guys the link, okay? All right, everybody. Have a good
Good
week.
night, everyone. Thank you. Have a good one.
Cheers, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.